Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today. So this video is going to come from a variety of locations in my house today, but I just wanted to do my first impression review of the Magnitone Blendup foundation brush. Now I've called this my Magnitone nightmare because it has been a nightmare. I'm going to play you the start of the video that I filmed over a week ago, which is the start of my Magnitone journey, because I was really excited. I didn't actually open the box before I started the video, and you'll see how excited I was. I've wanted this device for a long time, but I have to say to you, spoiler alert, my excitement has now completely dissipated, and I'm just so over the excitement. And I just wanted to share this journey with you. And I'm also going to send this video to Magnitone so that they can have a chance to respond. And I will obviously update you if they do respond. Okay, so let's just play this video first of all, and then I'm going to tell you what happened after that. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today. Now I'm really excited today because something arrived in the post. I have been dying to try this for a long time, and I saw it. I went on to Look Fantastic. If you saw me on my live yesterday, I was telling you this. I went on to Look Fantastic looking for something else and ended up buying this because it was on offer and it was £40, and it says normally 70, although on Magnitone's website it says it's 50. And this is the Magnitone Blendup Vibrasonic Makeup Blending Brush. Okay, and basically it puts your foundation on for you, it blends your makeup, and the idea is that because it's got these vibrasonic waves, that it's supposed to blend it really well. And you know me and my gadgets, I love gadgets. My dad used to tease me, by the way, he used to tease me and say, you and your gadgets, but I just can't resist them. Now I'm just going to work out how to get into this box. I also, because I got 15% off if I spent over a certain amount, I also got the two other brushes. So there's 3 different brushes that go with this device. One comes obviously with the device, which is this flat-ended brush, and then there's a dome-shaped brush, and there is a featherblend brush, which is kind of the dual kind of hair brush. You know what I mean. Can't speak. Can't find my words. Word blind as usual. Okay, so I'm just going to take this out of the box and I'm going to try it out. I can't wait. Okay, not a very good start. It says hold the button for 5 seconds. It comes fully charged. Hold it for 5 seconds to take the lock off it, and it comes on, and I'm not getting anything. So I'm going to try and charge it up and see. I hope I haven't got a faulty device. I'm going to get annoyed. I'm so disappointed. So I might have to put this on hold, this video, and come back to you in a while. Let's hope it charges itself up. Okay, I am getting really annoyed now. I'm going to give the customer service team a ring. Nothing happened for ages, and then the red light came on. And it says it turns red when the battery is low. So it hasn't come fully charged, the device, at all. And it says flashes red when charging. Well, it's not flashing red, it's just red. White when it's on, solid white when it's fully charged. So I'm going to check with them because it's not flashing red. So it looks like it's not charging. It looks like I've got a device with a completely dead battery. But I'm going to check with them, so I'll keep you updated. I'm very annoyed. I was very excited, and now I'm very annoyed. I was going to use some other terms which I probably shouldn't on this channel. So there you go. I'll let you know what happens, but I'm going to put this video out, so Magnitone, you better come through for me. Okay, so this is interesting, and this is going out because I'm suitably annoyed now. There is no reply from the Magnitone customer service helpline for faults. They asked me to leave my number and they would call me back. So we shall see how long it takes them to call me back. If not, I'm just going to contact Look Fantastic and ask them to send me a new one, because there's obviously something wrong with this device. All right, well, I am glad that I showed you all this as and when it was happening, because it's good for you all to know. I will call Look Fantastic as well and give them a chance to respond. Okay, so I did send the first device back to Look Fantastic and asked them to send me a replacement. Now, it's not easy for me to get to a post office. As you know, I've got spina bifida and I use a mobility scooter. The post office is very nearby, but it's not accessible. It's an old shop. They're very nice to me in there, but they've got very, very narrow aisles. And it's not, the post office is right at the end of the shop. And then in order to turn around, everybody has to leave the queue so that I can actually maneuver to get out of the shop. It's really not easy. So anyway, I took it, returned it. A few days later, Look Fantastic sent me a replacement. The replacement was completely dead. No light came on at all. Nothing happened when I charged it up at all, except that the machine was getting hot, but it wasn't lighting up, it wasn't working. I tried charging it for half an hour, nothing was happening. So I basically said to Look Fantastic, right, look, I've had enough of this. You've obviously got old devices that are, the batteries are running low. I want my money back. I'm going to go directly to Magnitone. So I sent the second device back to Look Fantastic, and in the meantime ordered a device from Magnitone, and Magnitone had got an offer where you could buy the machine in a kit with one spare brush and a holder for £70. So actually it wasn't a huge deal on Look Fantastic, because the machine and two of the brushes had cost me £76. But I kept the spare brushes because I was ordering from Magnitone. I thought it's always handy to have the spare brushes. I'll keep those. I'll order the device from Magnitone. And of course, coming direct from the company, it's bound to be fine, isn't it? And no, it wasn't. So I'm going to move rooms because I'm going to show you what arrived yesterday from Magnitone. Okay, I've moved rooms because this has been charging up in my other room. Okay, now the reason it's been charging up is because it does not come fully charged. Now I'm going to get you the instructions of this device and I'm going to read them, because I started to think, am I being stupid? You know, this is the third device. Maybe I'm doing something wrong and maybe it's my fault, because after all, certainly 3 can't be faulty. All right, so I'm just going to get you the instructions and I'm going to read them to you. I also want to say to you that Magnitone didn't get back to me. There was a missed call, which may have been from Magnitone, but they didn't leave a message, so I don't know if it was them. They didn't actually get back to me and leave me a message. So, as I say, if you don't leave a message, how do I know it's from Magnitone? So, yeah, that phone call was never returned. Now, here is the instructions, and I'm going to read what it says. So it says, ready to blend your makeup like a pro. Charging up. Your blend up comes fully charged. Right, well, 3 of them arrived and none of them were fully charged. None of them worked when I switched them on. This one, the third one that came from Magnitone, was completely dead. It's not anymore, but only after I charged it for 2 hours. So that's the first thing that is not true. A full charge takes 2 hours. Use the charging cable to connect the handle to any USB charging port, which is what I did. I accepted that it wasn't fully charged and I thought, let's give this a go. It says the LED will flash during charging. Nothing flashed during charging. No light came on. It didn't flash. It didn't go red. It didn't do a thing, right? So I thought, I'm just going to leave it for 2 hours and hope that it charges up, because there was just no light on it whatsoever. Okay, so that's the first thing. It says when it's completely charged, the light will go solid white. Well, it didn't go red, it didn't go white, it didn't do anything. It just stayed looking like that. So I thought I'll charge it for a couple of hours and hope that it charges up. Okay, so that is basically, it says to attach the brush heads, turn off the power and insert the brush, blah, blah, blah. And it does say using travel power lock. We know your blendup will travel as much as you do, so we added a smart travel lock. Press and hold the power button for 5 seconds and turn it on. The red light will flash 3 times when it is active. Repeat to unlock. Right, so I thought, I even tested that because I thought maybe the lock is on, right? Maybe, so just in case Magnitone is saying it was on lock, that's why it wasn't working. I pressed it for 5 seconds, and guess what happened when I pressed it for 5 seconds? The red light flashed, the non-existent red light. The only time that I've seen the red light actually work on this device was when I press the travel lock, right? But in any other time, nothing at all. So I'm just going to show you now. I'm going to plug this in and I'm going to show you that the light does not come on. It does not flash red. It does nothing when it's charging. Okay, I will just show you that. Okay, I've now got it plugged into a USB port, which is switched on, and there is nothing, no light flashing, not a thing. So basically I've got to guess when it's charged up adequately. Now, why am I not returning this one? I'll tell you why. I've already returned 2 devices, right? And it's very, very hard because of my disability, really hard for me. I've had to go and struggle 2 times to return 2 devices. And what happened is when I did finally charge this for 2 hours, it comes on, right? There's no light on it, but it comes on. And if you press it again, it does the greater speed. So because normally I would probably return that because there's no light. It's not doing what the instructions say. But I just cannot go to the post office for a 3rd time. I've been in a lot of pain this week and basically I just can't do it. I'm just going to make do with it as it is. But I have to say that I'm no longer excited about this device. I was really excited. It's had really good reviews. And my whole excitement is over. Now, if Magnitone want to respond to this or maybe send me another device, they can do that. But I'm not sending a 3rd one back. I just can't. It's too much hassle for me with a disability to be sending a 3rd product back. But what I would say to you all is, now I haven't tested this yet, and that's what you're going to see next. Let's see how it applies the makeup. But what I would say to you all is, at the moment, I would say I do not recommend this. I think what's happened is that because they came fully charged, this came out a couple of years ago, that if you buy a model now, all the batteries have gone flat. They've probably been sitting around. Let's see what Magnitone have to say about it. But 3 devices, all with exactly the same issue. I just don't think it's worth the hassle. But hopefully it's going to blend my makeup like a dream. And hopefully I'll become a bit more enthusiastic about the product. And I will, as I said, give Magnitone the opportunity to give me some kind of response. I have actually written something on Instagram. They haven't responded to that. They didn't call me back. If they did, they didn't leave me a message. So hopefully I'm giving them the opportunity by sending this video to give me a response. Now this came with a holder and a spare brush, and I've got 2 spare brushes still from Look Fantastic. So I'm just going to make the best of it. But as I said, I really wouldn't recommend this. It's so much hassle. And if I got 3 faulty devices, then who knows what you're going to end up with. So that's my nightmare. But next you're going to see me applying my makeup with this brush, and hopefully it will cheer me up a bit and bring back some excitement. Okay, so let's get some excitement going, shall we? Here is the brush. I'm going to use this flat end brush to put my foundation on, just to show you that the set also comes with a holder, as I told you. I'm going to just show you what the holder looks like. I haven't even opened it yet because I didn't know if I was sending it back. But this is the little holder that it comes with, so that you can put it. It's nice for travelling. It looks really nice. It's got a little press stud opening there, like that, so you can put your brush in when you're travelling. And it comes with one other brush, which is, let me just show you that one. The other brush is this one, the dome-shaped one, which is good for it's good for foundation as well, but it's good for powders, and I've seen them using this to put eyeshadow on, so I might have a go with that. So let's get going, shall we? I'm going to put some Flawless Filter on. I've done all my skincare. I'm going to put some Flawless Filter on first, and then I shall put on some Flawless Foundation by Charlotte Tilbury. Did think about using my La Prairie, but that always looks well blended anyway, and sometimes the Flawless Foundation could do with a bit of extra blending. So let's just try it. So I'm going to dot this around my face. This is Flawless Filter in shade 4. I'll dot this around, and then hopefully this brush won't conk out on me halfway through me using it. So it's got 2 speeds, the first for blending, the second one's for airbrushing. So I'll press it once. I can't wait to try it with my foundation. Definitely works it into the skin very well. And the brush feels very soft. So, you know, credit where credit's due. I don't allow a bad experience to colour my opinion of its functionality. I'm just coming closer to the camera so that you can see. I think that's blended it very well. So let's now try it with the airbrush Flawless Foundation, and I'm going to mix a bit of warm and neutral on the back of my hand, and then dot that around my face, and I'll be right back. Okay, I filmed me putting my airbrush Flawless Foundation on and didn't press record. So I took it all off, put the Flawless Filter back on, and this is take 2. So, I have to say that I am very impressed with this. Can you see I'm smiling a bit more now? So I'm now going to dot this all over my face, and we will do take 2. And this time I'll make sure that I press the play button. Okay, that's recording now. So let's get going once more. So I'm just moving it back and forward as I would normally. Now, I think this is really good if you've got a disability that affects your coordination, because you really don't have to do a lot of work. It's blending it in really well to the skin, really working it into the skin, and I am actually very, very impressed. With the way that it works it into the skin. Let me just move up close so that you can see. Look at that. Now that's for Flawless Foundation. I normally would not be able to get a finish like that myself. and it's quite pleasant kind of vibration, and I don't feel that this is going to be too harsh to put near my eyes, because it doesn't feel like it's going to be too harsh. Let me just blend this bit. So look. Now what I did in the first take, I'm going to do this on this take as well, is I put a little bit more and dotted it around this area here. Just actually didn't put as much on my, I'm just going to use the neutral one this time on its own, and dotted it where I normally do, just to give me a bit more coverage around my cheek peak areas. And what I did is I tried stippling it. I'm going to show you, and it actually works really well when you stipple with this brush, because it vibrates it into the skin, but you're stippling it. So let me just show you what I mean. So it gives me a lot more coverage than if I was to stipple that by hand, because it's blending it while I'm stippling. It's actually really good. This is going to be the strangest first impression I think I've ever done, where I've started out so negatively. So I'm going to come up with a recommendation at the end of this video, in case people are interested in this machine. I have some thoughts about it, and actually I feel like that is not too powerful to put near my eyes. I'm just going to run some over my eyes, so you can see when you look at my eyes that I've got more pink in my undertone than my foundation, and why my foundations always end up looking a bit too yellow. So I'm just putting that and then running it over my eyes. That actually does not feel too powerful. And yet what I noticed when I did the first take is, because it's blending it so well into the skin, it wasn't creasing where I normally get it to crease. Now there is a second setting on here. If you press once, you get that. If you press second time, you can hear it goes at a stronger pace. And that's for airbrushing and finishing off. So I'm just going to do that now. I'm going to really close up here so you can see. It actually does not look like I've got foundation on, because there's no edges or anything. It's actually really good. I'm really happy. Magnitone, I love it. It may not be functioning in the way that your instructions are saying, but boy is this good machine. Right, I'm going to give you a close-up now. That is Airbrush Flawless Foundation. And it just looks like my skin. And it actually feels like, because of the vibrations, it's got the circulation going in my skin. It feels like it's good for my skin. You know, to get your circulation going in your skin is good for your skin. I'm just going to blend some of this out here at the bottom. Now I'm going to try it with a bit of concealer, because I feel that you can use this around your eyes. I'll just get my concealer and I'll be right back. Look, I've got foundation on my dressing gown, but that's why I wear a dressing gown when I'm putting on my makeup or grungy tops, because I'm messy. Okay, so I'm going to dot some magic away. Oh, I don't like doing this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to dot some magic away, shade 5.5, around my eyes, down into that triangle, just again to give me a bit more coverage over the cheek peaks. I'll put some going down that way, like that, and a little bit going in the centre of my face. Why not? As we have this blend up machine. And then I'm going to go in again and I'll zoom in right like that so you can see me up close and personal. Again, just stippling it. And again, I'm just going to give a slight airbrush to finish it off. I love that. I like that a lot. I'm a happy chappy. Now, there are some other brushes that you can blend your powder in with. So I'm going to put some powder on and use one of the other brushes. And you could also put your eyeshadow on. So I'm going to just experiment. Why not? Okay, now I've now switched to this domed head brush. And I'm going to use it to put the powder in. Now, can you see that although there's a little bit of creasing where that magic away is, it's nowhere near as much as it normally would be, because it's worked it so well in the skin. Now, I don't know how you would apply a pressed powder, but I'm just going to put some on the brush, like that. It's making it kick up a bit. Maybe what I'll do is actually switch it off first. Dab it in there. That's it. And then I'm not going to put this all over, but I'm just going to do my eyes and my T-zone with it. Right, now let's try some of Charlotte's bronzer. Okay, so I've dipped it onto the brush first before I switch it on. Now, obviously, it's not as thick a brush as her bronzing brush, but it should blend it in. Circle it round and then it will blend it in. That looks so well blended. Looks like part of my skin. Very impressed. Right, I shall do the other side and I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm going to test, because I've got this Natasha Denona blush, which I love, but it does need a lot of blending. It's that coral one, and it's called Tutu and Golden Caribbean. So I'm going to use some of that with this because I want to see how well it blends it in, because I'm loving the way that bronzer looks and how well it's blended it. So let's just do that. So that's what it looks like when I first apply it. Let's see if it can make a short shrift of it. I kind of deliberately put too much on the brush because it's very easy to over apply this. It's very pigmented indeed. Probably still too much, but I'm going to go back over it in a minute with the other brush. And I'm going to use it in the airbrush mode. Well, the battery's lasting well so far. Should I tempt fate? Right, and then I'm going to put some Magic Star highlighter on, and then I'm going to go back over it with the third brush, which is this Stipples and Diffuses makeup one. It's got a duo brush head, which I'll show you in a minute, but that should be able to kind of blend it all in together and make it look seamless, hopefully. So I'm now going to take some of this Magic Star highlighter of Charlotte's, and let's see what it does with this. Can never have too much highlighter. I think probably the brush is a little bit too thick to apply highlighter, but I like the way that it's blending it in. It looks very much just like my skin. Put a bit down my nose. Okay, I'm going to swap brushes again to this third brush, just to see how well it would stipple it all together in the airbrush mode. And I'll show you this brush. So this is what I mean by the kind of dual brush to it. So I'm hoping that in airbrush mode is really going to, like that, where that's applied too much, it's just going to blend it out for me. So I'll just take this brush head off and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's the brush head on. That's the first speed. That's the airbrush speed. So I'm just going to take that around. This is incredibly soft. And because of the dual fibre, it's really going to blend underneath. And where I put that highlighter, that's really great. Now, lastly, before I finish off, because I'm going to test this and give it as much testing as possible, I have seen a makeup artist putting on eye makeup with this head. So I have to try it. You know it has to be done. So I'm going to use some of Charlotte's Charlotte Darling palette. And I'm just going to apply, obviously you can't get into the creases and everything else with it, but I'm just going to apply one shade to my eyes and see what it looks like. Okay, so I will be right back. So I'm just going to apply with this matte shade here, which is the third one in, on the brush, and I'm just going to put it on my eye and see. I might make a complete mess of this, but hopefully not. Can't go too wrong with a matte medium shade. It's looking okay to me. Now I'll just take it on the other side. I'll switch it off. I like to switch it off before applying it, otherwise the powder goes everywhere. Put a bit more on the other side and then turn it on again. I'm just putting it on the first setting. Really gives the eye a nice massage. Now, what I can do now is with my fingers, just take the second shade in this eyeshadow palette and put that onto my mobile lid. I've got a really professional finish. Bit of lipstick. Obviously a very basic eye look, and I probably want to add more to it. But hey, not bad. Look at that, so close up. I still think I put a bit too much blush that side, but never mind. Okay, so let's finish off, shall we, and do my conclusions. Okay, as I said, this has been the weirdest first impression I think I've ever done, in that I started so infuriated and so annoyed at this company and the device, which has given me so much of a headache. But in actual fact, when it was working, which it is working now, I don't know how long it's going to last. I'm not sure about the battery. Obviously, I'm just going to have to charge it up for 2 hours. I don't know when it's fully charged. The light doesn't work on it. But the actual application of the makeup is flawless. And the foundation has applied so evenly. And there's no, I often get lots of foundation just stuck in those lines. And it actually makes the lines look worse. But it's not done that. I haven't got any bits of, I haven't got any creasing underneath. It's just perfect application of makeup. So I'm actually, in terms of it applying makeup to my face, I'm very, very impressed. So I really hope, Magnitone, that you do see this video and you can see that I'm not actually allowing my experience to affect my judgment of a product, which when it comes to application is really, really worth it. Now, what would I say to you? I would say, if you're going to buy this product, I would recommend the product in terms of how it applies to the skin. If you can buy this in a store and you can get them to take the machine out and test it before you buy it, then I would recommend it. If you're buying it online, right now, I cannot recommend it because this was the third item and it still doesn't work as the instructions say, which is such a shame because I can see why reviewers were raving about it. Sorry, my eyes watering a little bit. I can see why reviewers raved about it. It makes applying your foundation a dream. So let's see whether Magnitone reply. And of course, if they reply, I will keep you updated as to what they say. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this review. I'm not really quite sure what I can say in terms of recommending it to you, except if you can try before you buy, then get it. If you can't, then don't. And I'll see you all very soon. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear your views. Normally a review is get it, don't get it. I can't tell you what to do because it's a great product, but I wouldn't trust buying it online. So that is my most complicated and up and down review that I've ever done of the Magnitone Blendup brush. See you all soon. Take care. Love you all. Bye. Mwah. Just one last thing. I did actually manage to blend the darker one into my socket by holding it on its side and doing that. So you can actually get into the socket by doing that, and it does again blend like a dream. Let's put a bit more this side. That's it. So much better than you can do by hand. I probably wouldn't go under my eyes with it. Right, I'm going to definitely finish now. Take care, see you all soon. Bye-bye.